Hey everyone, and welcome to a video that I kind of should have made yesterday because Hank the Tank, Mr. 75K, filed a motion to dismiss the motion the defense have made to reimburse the defense for the experts' travel to obtain the video raw data from the Canton PD. And let's just say this motion he is filing is another one of Hank the Tank's. I don't know if this is deliberately misleading to kind of make gullible people, the Smurfs, do a PR campaign on Twitter about, oh, Karen Reed is at fault. She has a bad legal team. Or he just doesn't know the facts in the case he has been hired to run. I'm really not sure after reading this motion, because he claims that the prosecutors have provided the defense with all the Canton Police Department videos throughout the entirety of the case. But that's just not true, because the defense didn't receive these videos they were promised until 2 years later than they were supposed to, just before we started the trial in April 2024. And when was the legal deadline to turn it over? August 2022. So 2 years later. Is he unaware of this timeline, or is he misleading the public? I don't know. And I really don't know which is worse. And one of the things that also is kind of shocking is the defense didn't know about the Sallyport surveillance if the feds haven't told them about it. Because the prosecutions didn't disclose that the Sallyport video existed for 2 years, even though they had that in their possession. Is it, again, incompetence or whatever? Brennan also claims in this motion, at no time has the defense ever made a formal preservation request. Again, I'm going to say this a lot. That is also not true. Defense filed emergency preservation request back in February of 2022. The court granted those. In September 2022, the defense filed a motion specifically requesting all crime scene videos and photographs, including their metadata, which they should have complied with in October of 2022. They didn't. Again, Mr. 75K, the man you taxpayers of Massachusetts pay handsomely to run this case, isn't he aware of these filings? Or is it willfully he's making statements that contradicts the facts? Again, I don't know. I just know that if I go and look at the motions that Oliver Lambo has, you can follow her on Twitter. She's one of the best Karen Reed channels to follow on Twitter. She can find the orders. Defendant's emergency motion for preservation of evidence allowed February 2nd, 2022. How can an internet snoop know more about this case than a man who's getting paid $75,000 to run it? Why hasn't Lally poked him in the side? He's doing nothing anyway. Just saying, hey, by the way, Hank, yeah, funny thing, those videos that you claim we sent them? We might have done it a little late. it could be a mistake that he didn't know it. But can it be a mistake this far into a trial? And remember, they should have the metadata. Why should they have the metadata? Because we have an inverted video from the Sally port. Someone has tampered with that video because it's inverted. They can say whatever they want to say. The second someone inverted it and put the new timestamps on it, it should have been thrown out faster than a bad gallon of milk. You can't use that as evidence. Only in a courtroom run by Beverly Cannon will evidence like that ever be produced. But one more thing, and maybe it's because Mr. Hank the Tank is a defense lawyer, so why should he know anything about anything? This is potential Brady evidence. It's potential exculpatory evidence. The prosecution is legally required to preserve and disclose this. 2 years later, they are now making the claims that don't even hold up to basic scrutiny. Why don't they already have all the videos with the metadata? Is it because they don't know the facts of the case? Is it they are misrepresenting the facts? I don't know. I'm just saying that this is getting worse day by day. I don't know what to think. I come from a very high trust country. I do layman duty, that's jury duty, a lot. I have never ever seen anything this bad. I've been covering trials in the States for 2 years. Never ever seen anything like this. The only thing I found that comes close is the case I did a video on earlier where a lady who stabulated herself 20 times was found to be a self-deletion. You should go watch that video and see it's not only in Massachusetts that it's that bad. Apparently, it's also bad in Philly because a lady who is capable of severing her own spine and then after she's unalived keeps stabbing herself is quite a wonder. I don't know what's wrong, but reading motions like this where he willfully or mistakenly misrepresents basic facts in the case, basic legal arguments, it's disheartening to see. I'm still of the mind that if you had a really just straight by the book judge in this case, she would have laughed at him, thrown this motion back in his face, and said, produce the evidence with the metadata. He can't even guarantee that they can get the evidence. He doesn't know if it exists. He has talked to the guy who normally would have downloaded it and put it on a hard disk, but he doesn't know if it exists. If you have given it to the defense, of course you have a copy because you're legally obliged to keep Brady evidence. This case should be dismissed with a vengeance. Karen Read should be set free, and there should be a cleanup crew running through every police department and DA's office in the state of Massachusetts. Sadly, Beverly will probably just do what she always do, say, I'll allow it. But this is another moment for Hank the Tank where he absolutely misses the mark.